The American Revolution lasted from 1775 to 1783. This was a monumental movement in history because revolutionaries fought against the power of Great Britain and actually won. They struggled to fight for their independence and established a new kind of political system, while also paving the way for other revolutionaries across the globe. Following the American Revolution were uprisings in many European countries and Latin American colonies. Enlightenment ideals heavily influenced political revolutions and were often reflected in paintings as well. This new way of thinking focused on logic, reasoning, and the individual, which motivated the people to fight against absolute power. The Age of Enlightenment originally began in Europe and birthed some of the greatest thinkers we know today. Philosophers like Voltaire, Rousseau, and Frederick the Great inspired American revolutionaries like Thomas Paine and Thomas Jefferson in the colonies. A whole new political ideology was built up, and artists capitalized on this new emotional and political desire to break free. Artists such as John Trumbull and Benjamin West had a significant impact during this revolution as their artwork depicted a new sense of equality, patriotism, and freedom that the people could hold on to. John Trumbull was one of the greatest painters of the American Revolution. He was known for his epic portrayals of battle scenes and historic events. He also aided General George Washington during the Revolution and even went on to achieve the colonel rank. Due to his military experiences, he was qualified and able to document the American Revolution in a unique light.
During his early painting career, Trumbull was openly vocal about his anti-British sentiments. People began to catch on, and he was eventually imprisoned for 8 months. Once he was free, he continued to paint scenes that commemorated American victories over Britain in battles. Due to his skills and qualifications, he was commissioned by the U.S. government to paint 4 paintings. We'll go deeper into 2 of them.
This artwork was created by Trumbull and depicts Thomas Jefferson placing the Declaration of Independence before John Hancock, the President of Congress. He is seen joined by John Adams, Roger Sherman, Robert Livingston, and Benjamin Franklin, all very significant figures in America's history. Because this work was commissioned by the U.S. government in a series to document the American Revolution, it was heavily idealized. Trumbull wanted to preserve the images of the Founding Fathers in a dignified and formal light. To achieve this, he sacrificed total accuracy of the scene in exchange for a well-organized, majestic portrayal of the historic event. Today it can be seen on the backside of the $2 bill and on certain stamps. This painting, titled General George Washington Resigning His Commission, depicts Washington resigning from his position as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. It was considered important to document because it established civilian authority over the military, which is, after all, a fundamental idea of American democracy. He can be seen by a light illuminating him from above, with his empty chair behind him. It is slightly larger and more ornate than other chairs and is draped in a king's robe, which symbolizes Washington's retirement from his position of power.
Enlightenment thinkers put heavy thought into the way our universe works to questioning the traditions that were once heavily followed. In America, the colonists used Enlightenment principles to protest against the unfair laws and oppression that would soon lead to their revolt against the British Empire. Freedom, justice, reason, and equality were some of the several laws that governed the Enlightenment era.
In addition, thinkers began to shift away from Catholicism and developed a new thinking called deism, which was a way of understanding the universe. These influences led to the adoption of a neoclassical style within the colonies. Originally, this style mimicked the ancient Greeks and Romans, as it tried to emphasize the same principles of simplicity and symmetry. Shallow spaces are often seen atop buildings paired with strong horizontal and vertical designs. Natural rights such as life, liberty, and property were also heavily valued and reflected in many artworks. The Enlightenment was a time of revolutionizing the way the old world once worked, while also questioning everything that was once passed down.
In conclusion, the political system was revolutionized by new democratic and Enlightenment ideas. Art culture flourished as artists like Trumbull truly captured the emotional and political changes brought upon by war and freedom. The U.S. government used artwork to fuel a sense of pride in its people and preserve loyalty.